class. My environmental science class started recycling to kind of follow the leadership of Miss Callan. She had the idea. I know they had done it in the past here in this building before I got here. But the purpose behind it all is just to make sure that our recyclables do actually end up in recycling, so that way we can try to reduce a little bit of the unnecessary waste that ends up in landfills and things along those lines. So I think to wrap it all up, Miss Callan had a great idea in using our environmental science classes to try to improve our footprint here at Jonathan Alder.
So the recycling program was actually began by Science Club years ago before I started teaching here. And when I took over Science Club and I also started teaching environmental science, we kind of just meshed it all together.
My number one tip for recycling would be to educate yourself on what can and cannot be recycled. So one, you're not wasting valuable resources. Two, you're making sure that you don't contaminate our recycling. And three, you're not throwing stuff in the trash that could in fact be recycled.
The most important thing to know about recycling is you need to know what is and is not acceptable at each location. For example, plastics are very confusing. Here at the high school, we only take plastic bottles, and we have to make sure that they are completely empty. One of the things that we find in our recycle bins that does not belong is candy wrappers and food wrappers. Anything with food on it or anything yucky on it, like tissues or paper towels, do not belong in the recycle bin.
Aluminum cans are a big one. Find those in the trash a lot. Cardboard, paper, things that don't have any type of liquid or waxy type of residue or fatty type of residue on it. Those are the big ones that can be, that oftentimes get overlooked. Probably bigger for us right now are the things that cannot be recycled. Those would be things like cardboard pizza boxes that have food contamination in it. Those pretty much have to go straight to the trash. Styrofoam and plastic clamshell food containers, we find those in the recycling bins all the time. Cannot be recycled, even though a lot of them have the little triangle on the bottom. It's not something that most recycling plants can take care of. And because of that, we have to remove them or they end up contaminating the rest of the recycling bins that they get put in.